Welcome back to Geekshow Helpdesk, a late recording.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yes, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. It is officially mid-December, and here we are.
This is a drought,
Ho,
right? This is the
ho,
this
ho.
is the slow this is the slow season.
Yep.
Yeah, work sucks
better
right
be
now
a-
because nothing's happening.
There better be a Game Pass update coming out soon because we need some Game Pass energy.
I got a.
I think there was one last week that you missed.
Yeah, there was. You missed it.
Oh, and
It's okay. It's nice to let them build up. You know, you got to edge them.
okay.
Edge 'em?
Moving along.
you define
This
that?
is
Save the
can't
spicy
define it.
stuff for the in between.
Geek Show
say
Helpdesk, where we talk about tech, gadgets, and science-related things that particularly interest us. Let's kick it off by introducing our panelists. It's Jarron. Look at him.
Hi, look at me. I'm Jarron. I am Jarron.
It's Mr. Jarron. Look at him.
Hey, it's me, Mr. B6. Look at me.
He got it. He got the reference. It's Lando.
Hey, it's me. It's Lando. Look at me. Can do.
Existence is pain.
I love that. That's one of my very favorite
Spain, Jerry.
episodes.
It is one of the all-time classics. And don't forget about Owen.
Hey, just living the bearded life over here. Not quite as good as Tony, but there you go. This is a new angle for me, and I'm not comfortable with it.
Live that bearded life.
I am
to
not
its
as well.
fullest.
I
I
know.
don't like it.
It's not working for me. I'm gonna have to change it.
Go back to the old way, please. Don't change things.
I will.
Change is
I'm
bad.
going to. Change is bad. Everybody knows it.
Yeah, always
Yeah,
bad.
you're right. I don't like this angle of you.
Mm-mm.
What's
It's not
what's
good.
different?
I'm slightly more this way.
Oh, there it is.
It's
There
like
it is.
the
That's better.
camera lens is
can't-
distorting your face, making it fuller.
You can.
You didn't-
Oh. Uh-oh. That was mean.
That was
Sorry,
definitely
audio
mean.
only listeners.
but-
Here's a
But it's
better
great
angle.
content.
I can
Okay.
move it over.
No, you
There we
look
go.
better now. Yeah.
Yeah, this-
Okay, Tony, keep the show on the road. Let's
You
go.
just lost 30
I'm waiting.
pounds.
I'm waiting for someone to introduce me.
And we got a host. His name is Tony.
Thank you, Jarron.
We
Owen, that
have
was
a
your
host.
job, Owen.
His name is Tony.
Hey
Catch
guys,
him
we have a
on Blue
host. His name's
Sky.
Tony.
I feel so good. Check me out on Blue Sky, Quad T, at Quad T. If I sound a little funny, it's because I got a cold, so apologies in advance.
Ooh, nice.
If you hear me snort, that's why. Okay, we are going to forego the emails this week because the next couple episodes are going to be low on news due to it being the end of the year, so we're going to let the emails build up a little bit. So if you wrote in, just know we will get to you
And if
next
you
week.
if
probably.
you haven't written in yet, please do so.
yeah.
Give them the
Plus-
email address, Tony.
Yeah.
Plus, like-
do
plus,
all that
like-
roading in, please.
Plus,
Geekshow
like,
Helpdesk at gmail.com.
like Jarron was saying, Tony was having DNS issues today. So
I was not having DNS issues.
He was no. It's always the DNS.
It's
Yeah.
always DNS.
It is.
I never claimed to be the best network engineer in the world, but I am a network engineer. And so when I say it's not the DNS, it's not the DNS. And guess
the
what? It
DNS.
wasn't the DNS
Well, how do you know?
How do you
because I
change it?
changed the DNS to a working DNS and it didn't work because
But-
you wouldn't stop bothering me about it.
Yeah, but if you thought it was such a stupid idea, why did you focus on that so long?
To prove you wrong, Jarron. That's why IT. That's why IT does
That's all we do.
what it
That's-
does half the
that's our-
time is to
that's
prove
our
people
lifeblood.
wrong.
That's our lifeblood.
Uh huh.
Yep.
Spite.
Can't confirm.
You had to
Can
really
confirm.
make sure it didn't work
That's right.
to prove me wrong.
That's right. Because I wouldn't be able to live if you were right and I was wrong about that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's talk about. Let's start on something fun. Jarron has been playing with an A1 Mini for the past couple week or two. And he's got a
Yes.
review for us. How does it compare to the old Ender 3S Pro?
Ender S3 Pro.
That one.
Yes. So Tony gave me his old Ender S3 Pro, and I thought it was a reasonable printer. And I spent about half the time figuring out why something didn't print. It took
Well,
about
Side note, when it came out, it was a reasonable printer. It was pretty dang good. It's just
and
that
whenever I
changed.
printed something, it took about 20 minutes to calibrate things, make
Yep.
sure everything was set up properly.
Yep.
And I thought, I got a 3D printer. I don't need another one. But then Squinky was on the other week. He's like, "Huh, the A1 Mini Pro, it's on sale for $100 off or however much."
$100.
Yeah, so
Good
it's
deal. Good price.
$200, and I think it's $180 right now still.
Yeah, it's
Dang good
even
printer.
deeper discount right now.
Yeah.
Or at least it
Yeah.
was for a few days.
And that edged on impulse buy territory for me. And so I'm like, why not get it and review it for the podcast? So I did.
It got you.
And boy, howdy,
Mm-hmm.
my eyes have been opened. Tony gave me the worst gift he could have ever given me. A crappy 3D printer.
That
That's
tracks.
stupid Tony giving me free tech. Ugh.
Yeah. And so naturally
Wish you
I gave
didn't
it to
pay
my
for that old
brother-in-law.
Stuff.
Enjoy.
Yeah. And I'm glad he took it off my hands.
Just passing the problem along.
For free, mind you. I didn't make any money on it. So let me say, everything that was just downright horrible about the S3 Pro is just utterly fantastic with the A1 Mini. It works. I've printed as many things in this last week as I did for the entire time I owned the S3 Pro.
Yep.
Not a single turd has come out of that thing.
Whoa.
Well, besides the little turds that come out when it
When it clears its nozzle.
when it clears its nozzle. Even printers have to clear their nozzle.
Once in a while. You just got to clean the nozzle.
Anyway, yeah, it's fantastic. So the S3 Pro didn't have any type of internet or network functionality on it.
Yeah.
This does. This has a camera built into it, unlike the S3 Pro. And I just connected it up. It calibrated. I clicked the calibrate button. It had me lubricate the track, which wasn't too bad. But since then, I search for things on the Bamboo app from my phone or my computer, send it to the printer. It prints, works perfectly every time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's a
I've heard
game-
the
it's a
Bamboo
game
printers are
changer.
Amazing.
it's a game changer, and
Wow.
I have suspicions the resolution is slightly higher. I haven't printed the exact same thing. I'm going to eventually as my old printer, but it puts out
Well,
really highly detailed
so-
stuff, and it's fantastic.
You should be changing the resolution to whatever you want it to be in the slicer. What slicer are you using?
The Bamboo one.
Yeah, so you can change it to like 0.1 or
Oh, you changed it in the
0.16.
slicer. See, this is how little I know about 3D printing.
And
And-
it's been
And
working
he's
great
still,
for you
and
for
he's
the
still
last
in
week
awe.
and a half.
Yeah.
And-
He's still
and-
in awe.
And as a extremely introductory user, oh man, it's so great.
One
Yeah.
of the things I watched about that printer, that one, like the A1 Mini specifically, was like time to fun, right? The time to fun on that printer is like super low and super awesome.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
you get it, you unbox it, and it comes with like built-in prints on the in the unit that
Oh.
like you're
It does.
printing.
All of them
comes
have-
with it
all
on
of
the
them
memory
have stuff
card.
like
Yeah, but
that.
the A1 Mini doesn't just have the benchy nonsense. It has like fun little toys you can
Yeah,
print.
it has like a little
immediately.
toy flute I printed for my
That
son. He
actually-
loved it.
Yeah, that actually interests me because that barrier to entry where you have to self-level and do all this stuff out of the box and all
It
the
does all
stuff
the leveling for you.
before you even get started, I just don't have the time to pick up that part of the hobby. But if
You
I could
don't
get
have
something
to.
out of a box,
That's the thing. Like with the newer gen printers, like your Creality K1, K1C, K1 Max, the Bamboo, all the Bamboo stuff, because Bamboo started with the next generation printers. They don't have anything older. It's all. It really is as close to plug and play as you're gonna get. Like
Time to
Yeah,
fun
and-
is so low.
Things that I tried and failed to print 4 or 5 times my old printer printed the first time.
just works.
yeah.
Just works.
I like
Yep.
that.
And like I printed something really tall, which always scared me on my S3 Pro because I'm like, there's no way this is gonna work. It worked.
About
It's
8 inches or so.
And
And
it's probably faster too.
circular shape,
Yeah, I'm just curious.
spherical.
Make sure you
8
flare out the
inches.
bottom.
That's
6 inches.
That's good. Jay,
With a flared base, I know that's important.
stop me!
Um,
Stop me! Stop me!
So the the thing
You guys
about
missed my joke.
not
It was so
only
good.
does it just work for you, but it's way faster too.
Oh,
Don't
it
forget
is
about that.
ridiculously faster. Like I asked Tony the other day, is it normal for the bed to be like shaking like crazy?
Yep.
It's shaking like crazy because it's so dang fast.
Yeah.
Like things that took, I don't know, 3 to 4 hours to print, it's like half the time it feels like.
At
Like,
What's
least.
your longest print, Tony?
Well,
What's your longest?
I've printed some really long things, like 28 hours
Okay.
on my K1 Max. But if I were to have tried to print that on an older gen, that would have been a 4-day print.
It feels like the
Yeah.
longer it took to print on my old one, the likelier it was going to mess up at
Yeah.
some point.
For
Right.
sure.
Yep.
But like I printed some back clips. It took 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm like, what?
dude.
Really? 20 minutes?
It
Seriously?
way.
literally cuts the print time by 2/3 most of the time.
Ooh.
It is absolutely nuts.
average.
So like, if I didn't know pricing for these things at all, I would have expected the S3 Pro to be $200 nowadays. And I would spend $400 on this A1 Mini and I wouldn't even bat an eye. Like it's fantastic. And the fact that you can get it for 180 right now, like 10 out of 10.
You can get
it's
a
amazing.
larger. You can get an A1 right now with the larger build volume for $300 right now.
Yeah, that's nuts.
It's the
Like-
same. It's almost the exact same printer. Just
Yeah, it's
a
just
little bigger,
bigger.
Yeah.
build volume.
To me, like Tony says, I will want the larger plate eventually, but right now I print knickknacks for my kids.
Yeah.
And I don't think I need anything bigger at this point, but maybe someday. And the cool thing about the A1 Mini, you can do multicolor prints. You can get up to 4 spools as an
Oh,
add-on.
that's
The
cool.
What do they
multicolor
call
thing.
it? AMF, I think.
Yeah. So I didn't buy that because I don't care. But it's cool that I can do that in the future if I wanted to.
Yeah, easy upgrade.
Oh,
Well,
the A1
speaking of
Mini right
bamboo-
now is freaking 180. That's insane.
Here's a leak.
Do it, man. It's worth it.
Here's a leak
like
for their
leaks.
possible next gen larger format printer. Oh yeah. So on all3dp.com, which is a well-known 3D printer website, the P stands for Pro, All3D Pro. Someone leaked into the Bamboo Lab community, this was spotted by them on Reddit, a printout with some of the dimensions and a picture of the new what the printout refers to as the Bamboo Lab H2D. And this is still firmly in leak territory, so take it with a grain of salt, but it looks like it is going to be a larger format than the Bamboo printers. It will also, according to this, it will have 2 print heads.
Wow.
Yeah.
What?
Which means you'll be able to do a 2-color print without having to purge the nozzle every time you want to change the print color.
Less
That
3D
is
printer
neat.
poop.
Less 3D printer poop, exactly.
Yeah, I know my stuff.
So if this is
My
true,
kids love that poop, by the way. They call it food for their little creations I made for them.
where's the food? That's funny. So it will also come with a 2nd gen AMS, which is the holder and the feed for the multiple color spools, multiple print spools that go into it, called the AMS2 Pro. So yeah, if this is actually happening, if they're printing things about it right now, that means we could probably expect it early next year. That's what I'm betting. Like I said, grain of salt. I really hope it happens though, because this is something I would absolutely consider. So just as a comparison here. So the machine dimensions, so the outside measurements of the outside of the box of the X1C, the X1 carbon, that's 389 by 389 by 457 millimeters cube, right? This new one is 492 by 514 by 626.
It's
So we're
bigger.
talking about significantly larger than the original X1C, P1S, P1P, which should mean bigger print volume, significantly bigger print volume. So I'm super stoked. I can't wait to see what happens with this, because this is what I'm waiting for, a large format from Bamboo. Primo stuff. All right. Moving along to hey, I was complaining about my ISP tonight. How about we talk about other ISPs?
You're
that are
going to
dookie.
love this. So, still makes me giggle. ISPs, right? ISPs are in it for one thing. What is that one thing?
Make
Tony?
that money.
They want them dollar bills, yo.
Data, which also leads to
But
money.
they want to hide behind the fact and the idea of like, we're doing it for you. We're here for
This
you,
is
right?
Yeah.
They want to be as respected as a public service, but not be a public service.
That's
Right.
a good way of
So-
putting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're trying to argue that, data caps are good for you, Tony.
Oh my
Didn't
gosh.
you know that? Data caps are awesome. You want data caps. They're good for you, right?
Screw off.
Don't make us into the Olive Garden of ISPs.
So for those who don't know,
Unlimited soup and breadsticks.
Yeah.
Soup and salad.
Yeah.
So most people agree that usage-based pricing, aka data caps, affect low-income people disproportionately because they're the least able to afford overage fees, and not only
Right.
that, but like overage fees are stupid in the first place. Just give me. Just,
Because people don't know how much they're using when they use the internet. That's the problem.
Especially
yeah.
Like-
Netflix and streaming. Like, you just don't, yeah.
For minutes, for texting, for like even using gasoline in a car, kind of how much you're using as you're using
Well,
it. For
not for texting. Back in the day, texting for sure.
Texting,
Now
remember
people have
that?
no
Oh.
idea.
All
how
right,
much
right.
they
Yeah, I'm talking
actually
back in the day.
text. Yeah,
but
for sure.
like knowing how much data you're using as you use it, impossible.
Yeah, so the cable group, the NCTA, I don't know what it stands for, so don't ask me, argue that the data cap plans are, and I quote, a way for providers to distinguish their offerings from those of their competitors, which is beneficial for consumers.
What a load.
The use of differential pricing models by a
What?
broadband provider is no different than a restaurant choosing to offer a tasting menu, a buffet, or an unlimited soup and salad as an alternative to a purely a la carte menu item. It's better for you, Tony, because you have more choice.
This is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
I
I've
know,
heard
right?
I've heard a lot
Choices.
of dumb things.
Choice is
I-
an illusion.
I saw this and I laughed and I laughed and I laughed. I'm like, who do they think they are? Who are they fooling? Like, what is happening?
So many people.
They
though.
know who they're fooling. The
Yeah.
incoming administration.
Yeah.
Most people, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But anyway, so I just had to share the funness because like it's good for you, Tony, and you just need to eat your Cheerios because they're yummy.
Incoming possible replacement.
Don't even get me started.
Someone,
No,
I
it's not what we're
forget his
talking about.
first name. Rosenworcel is his last name. Appointee from Old Trumper.
Counterpoint. I like that name.
Oh no, Rosenwald is the current one. Where's
Oh.
Rosenworcel? Republican Brendan Carr is the potential appointee.
Oh, he's
He
already
agrees
making
with the cable companies.
Yeah,
I don't
he's
like
already
regulation.
he is already putting up so many red flags.
They
I
all,
can't
yeah.
with
That's
that guy.
You thought
that's not a
Ajit Pai
political
was
show.
bad? He had a
Yeah.
punchable face. Wait,
Right? Oh
just
my gosh.
wait.
Can you imagine the day we thought we'd miss Ajit Pai? That day's coming. That
Unreal.
giant Reese's cup that you wanted to take and hit him in the
hate
face
that.
with.
I hate that. I want to punch him
Jackass.
just for
Owen.
that.
What? Sorry,
He has strong feelings about this. In case
Strong
you can't
ones.
tell.
Jack Wagon.
Quite.
Anyway,
quite.
I thought if I was going to get a laugh, I was going to give you guys all a laugh too. That the choice is like a restaurant. You can get the unlimited salad buffet, or maybe you just want one or two things, and that's a good thing for you, Tony.
It makes me laugh, but in an angry way.
Yeah, yeah. If it wasn't so infuriating, it'd be laughable.
All right, here's an interesting thing making the rounds this week. Google is touting a huge quantum chip breakthrough with their new Willow platform or Willow chip. Well, it's not as good as everyone thinks it is at first glance.
So what is it?
unfortunately.
Tell us what it is first, and tell us why it's not so good.
So quantum computing has been something that has been pursued for a number of years now by companies like Google, IBM. I want to say Amazon has a dog in the race, but I might be wrong about that. Intel's playing around with it a little bit, but I mean, they took 10 years to get off 14 nanometer architecture, so I don't expect anything from them. Honeywell, surprisingly, thermostat company, they're working on.
They've got a dog in this
working
right there.
quantum computing.
How?
For heating and
Anyway.
cooling purposes.
Yeah, right. That's what they bring to the table.
Just a big fan.
The Google debuted Willow, its latest quantum chip, this week, and basically says it crushes classical computers on a cosmic timescale. Mind-boggling. That's what a lot of these other outlets are saying. Engadget had a bit of a more subdued and realistic look at what's going on here. Basically, what it's saying is Willow. Now, Google's not making any claim of quantum supremacy. because they did that once with Sycamore in 2019. They said it's the greatest thing since sliced bread and crushes all other quantum computers. However, the problem is a bunch of other companies poked holes in what they said about it, and they
The dough went flat. and
ended
there
with a
was
lot
no
of
bread.
controversy. One researcher calling the company's announcement indefensible and just plain wrong.
Wow.
Ugh.
The problem with quantum computing and making claims like this is that the leaders of Google, they have no idea what they're talking about. They're just trusting their employees. Oh, you say it's good? All right.
Yeah.
I can't verify that.
Make the press
And
release.
it's really just the marketing team that's like, wait, what did you say? No,
Yeah.
it's like
The best? Did you say it's
You-
the best?
crushing.
Faster?
I love that. I love that. Run with it. Yeah, just
So,
go for it.
The problem with the problem with, well, this is a problem with Google in general as far as quantum computing goes, because they use a metric to measure it called RCS, stands for random circuit sampling, and they're the only one that use this metric to measure quantum computing. The other people making quantum
Red
computers
flag.
don't use this method of measurement. And so even this is in Google's own words. This is in Google's own words. It has, quote, no known real world applications. This RCS.
Another red
The-
flag.
Measure against.
No real world.
So it theoretically crushes all of it. It in our heads we believe that it will crush them.
So supposedly, according to this, Willow can complete its latest RCS benchmark. You know, the benchmark that doesn't matter. In under
we made.
5 minutes. In contrast, it says that it would take Frontier, the second most powerful supercomputer in the world, 10 septillion years to complete the same task.
That's a lot of years, Tony.
I like this. I like this idea of making your own scale. I'm
Right?
just gonna start giving on the Owen rating. This scores
Off the charts!
the Owen benchmark ratings here are, banging. Like
They're
you
so
can't
good.
get. There would take other people not using the Owen scale or on the Owen scale years, quintillion years.
That's right. Now, of course, Google argues that, well, this is the real deal, this RCS stuff. If another computer can't win an RCS, then it's not going to be as good as ours. So anyway, that's lame. Now, however,
However,
to what Google has to say here, there is another claim that they made that is actually pretty cool. So they claim that Willow is, now this is, quote, below the threshold, quote. Now what that means is it's solving a problem that every other quantum computer has as well that is being built, is that the quantum bits they're based on are difficult to control. They only hold their quantum state for fractions of a second. And the more qubits you add to the system, the more likely it is to produce errors. That's the biggest problem with quantum computing right now, is it's not
Doesn't
yet,
make sense.
it's not yet accurate, right? And
Yeah, that
the
too.
way that it handles problems is so different than traditional computing that it's hard to parse what's going on there.
Because this goes from like a on-off ones and zeros to different. I don't even understand that much about.
That's what I mean.
quantum yet.
I don't.
Does anybody really
I don't understand it
quantum
obviously very well,
entanglement?
but there's things to do with quantum entanglement, and this was really cool. Let me see if where was that quote? Okay, so quote, as the first system below threshold, this is the most convincing prototype for a scalable logical qubit built to date. It's a strong sign that useful, very large quantum computers can indeed be built, says Nevin. But I mean, Nevin's from Google, so. But
Okay.
it says Willow
like
brings
that.
us closer to running practical, commercially relevant algorithms that can be replicated on conventional computers. So yeah, that is pretty neat. There was a quote on here, and I wish I could find it because it made my science fiction nerd brain explode. Nerd. Anyway, I can't find it. But yeah, so there you go. Any progress in reality is good progress on quantum computing. I think it is going to be one of the ways we make large advancements as a
Scares me,
civilization with our
though.
technology.
It scares me for the encryption
Yeah.
side of,
That
of
we all-
things.
that-
For breaking
that-
encryption.
Oh,
Breaking
yeah,
encryption. Yep.
yeah.
That the layperson doesn't understand is super crucial, right? Like at every level, that encryption makes the internet safe.
Mm-hmm. Like once quantum computing is out and people who shouldn't have it, like we're screwed unless they figure out
Unless
quantum
they can
encryption.
use,
I was
unless
going
they
to say
can use
use the quantum
computing
computers
to,
for the encryption.
Right, in theory,
point.
but you know how the public freaked out about Y2K? Imagine trying to update your encryption
oh,
for the entire infrastructure.
internet. Yeah,
That's
all
a fair
banking,
point.
all banking systems everywhere.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah. Like encryption is so much harder than trying to put 2 more digits onto a year.
yeah. And I feel like we barely pulled that off.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, speaking of which, I want to see that Y2K movie that came out this last weekend. That looks pretty funny. You guys seen trailers for that?
I
Negative.
haven't,
yeah.
not yet.
It's basically what would happen if Y2K actually happened, but like as crazy as people were afraid of it happening, like your gadgets coming
Where-
to life. Because
Where did it come out?
It should have been in theaters this last
Oh,
weekend.
it
I
was a
think.
theaters movie, not just like a
Yeah,
streaming
yeah.
movie.
It's the first movie directed by Kyle Mooney, if you know who that is.
Oh, I like Kyle Mooney.
Yeah, he directed
Okay,
this movie. So
I gotta,
Who's
I gotta
Kyle Mooney?
check that out. From
he's
SNL.
on Saturday Night Live.
Was on
before,
SNL.
Yeah, before that he did. He had his own YouTube channel, or him and a couple of his buddies, and actually, it was my slice of humor, though. The kind of humor I really think is funny and doesn't always click with people. So, but yeah, I think Kyle Mooney's way funny. All right, let's roll along to Owen's story.
This one's
Yay!
Peer
this
review.
This one's been kicking around for a while.
Yeah.
And you remember the room temperature superconductor? That we were
Yeah,
like,
that was supposed to be,
"Ooh."
biggest
It was a-
breakthrough since sliced bread.
Yeah, well, that bread did not rise, my friend. That did not
Didn't
go
get
anywhere.
sliced?
Didn't get sliced. Didn't make it out of the baking phase here. So the guy that the headline here is like, this is why peer reviews exist. Like, we need to have experts reviewing other people's stuff. But what I don't get, so this guy Renga Diaz, he's one of the first to discover this room temperature superconductor. Was found to have engaged in research misconduct. He got fired from the University of Rochester. That's what a spokesman from the university said. And
Did you say Rochester?
Rochester?
Rochester.
Rochester? Okay.
Come on, he can say how he wants.
Yeah,
I was- I
Have
was-
confidence, Owen.
I don't have that. I don't know what that is.
My brain couldn't get past that. I apologize. Continue.
Rochester. Sorry, I was reading it fast. Rochester. Anyway, so he left. He was invited to leave. Called for terminating his position.
Invited to leave.
Yeah.
You are invited to quit,
Yeah.
or you shall be fired.
Exactly. So he's actually been through years of accusations of misrepresented in multiple papers. He's had at least 5 papers retracted in over 2 years.
Oh,
Yeah. One of those, which was identifying a material that functioned as a superconductor at room temperature, was pulled by the Journal of Nature. My problem is, and this is what I don't understand about peer reviews, I thought that this was supposed to be peer reviewed independently before it gets published. And
I thought so too.
And so, like, how did he get peer reviewers to go along with it and then get it into the Journal of Nature, which is a very respectable publication, and then have to have it pulled? He obviously did not respond to requests for comment.
Like my other 4 pulled papers, I will
Yeah.
not be responding to questions.
Yeah. So, and his departure comes from months-long university investigation that said that that pulled data documents from all of his computers and interviewed his collaborators. They found evidence of misconduct in 4 papers, which he had done, and that he had submitted to the National Science Foundation. And I'm just like, I don't understand how they got that far. Like, how processes or how many gates had to fail for it to get to production, like for it to get out to the journal. But anyway, so moral of the story and the purpose of the story is the super room temperature superconductors, not a thing. But
You know what
also,
this reminds me of? Oh, what were you going to say? Also,
I was
what?
just gonna say, and also this guy's a fraud.
Yeah,
So
proven
This guy's
Yeah.
a fraud.
at least 5 times
like it's
now.
not just a mistake on his part that they found something. He's been doing it for a while. 5 papers in 2 years, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So
You know what this reminds me of is smart contact lenses.
no,
Little
more like
bit.
no. Mm-mm. Tony, see where you're going?
Oh, this
But I-
reminds me of that time you brought up smart contact lenses.
Smart contacts is with the doctors that were obviously there.
In the pictures.
Dude, those guys were in the pictures with lab coats and everything, and they
Yeah.
had a patent submitted. My guy, this is more like cold fusion, Tony,
Oh, okay.
which I also would have invested in. But smart contacts are going to be a thing. You wait till they figure out the eye battery exploding thing. That's going to be a thing.
Once they get past that, the sky's
What's
the
that?
limit.
You'll be able to see into the future, Tony.
I feel like these are more snake oil salesman promises.
I don't think you can prove me wrong right now, though.
You're right. I can't.
That's the whole point of marketing.
Dang it.
I need James over here so he can back me up on that.
Yep.
Okay, so I found that quote real quick about quantum computing. This is the part that I was like, what? So Google says that the fact that they were able to render this test benchmark in 5 minutes versus 10 septillion years on a traditional computer, it says that number, Google says, quote, lends credence to the notion that quantum computation occurs in many parallel universes in line with the idea that we live in a multiverse.
What?
No,
So
did they just
what-
acknowledge the multiverse?
They did.
Let's go.
So what they're saying right here, according to my brain, which could be wrong, it wouldn't be the first time.
Your brain would never do that to you.
I like to
I
think
love this
so,
quote
but-
so much.
I know. Like I said, my
It's-
sci-fi nerd brain went, whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
So according to this, what they're saying is the way that their quantum computer works, or any quantum computer works, is it's calculating across every parallel dimension the
Yeah.
same process, creating parallelism that's unmatched because it's
Yeah.
infinitely
So they did four.
calculated
They did-
on an infinite amount of worlds at the same time.
Yeah, so they did 4
What?
calculations.
Yeah.
They did 4 calculations, and then they just increased the number of universes that they times that by until it was the biggest number ever. Until
Right.
it was something unbeatable, right?
That's
They're
what
like,
it
look,
sounds like.
They're like, they could have done it once and then just done 1 times infinity.
It's still infinity.
This is 10th dimension stuff right here, I'll tell you what.
So, are we going to
dimension.
rip a hole in the fabric of space time?
We
bet
might.
you
We
we-
should
I bet
probably
you-
stop talking about it, or else that
Yeah.
could happen
I bet you we're going to get some time cops showing up. Somebody
Any
from,
moment.
at any moment.
what's that Loki show? What's the
Oh,
organization?
the
TVA.
Time Variance Authority.
Yeah, that's them.
Yeah,
TVA. The TVA is gonna show up, guys.
I just read that and I thought to myself, "Oh man, I am here for this." I am such a nerd
I love that
for
metric, though.
multiverse stuff. Oh
Yeah.
man,
I also love the balls on them to use that metric. They're
Right?
like, by the way, we brought in the calculations that this is not just happening in our universe, but in others, and we're adding those together. We're combining that all.
according to this, we might have just proven multiverse
yeah,
theory.
I'm
That's,
super
that's not what
smart.
they're saying,
My-
but it's fun to think about.
Yeah, there's
My-
no way Google's
like-
leaders reviewed these comms.
No.
before they went out.
Yeah, seriously. Imagine my IQ spread across the multiverse. It's probably still lower than average, but like for me, that's huge.
You're getting up there easy,
I-
85,
I'm
90, somewhere
Definitely
around
getting
there.
close to average, or like just right on the cusp of 7th, 8th grade. Gotta
Yeah. Congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see. Let's do a very quick lightning round. I'm going to go with this is quick. Not Google. Microsoft backtracks on its Windows 11 requirements finally years later. Especially funny because it was just last week that they doubled down and said there's no way
did,
we will make
yeah.
Microsoft or Windows 11 available on older systems that don't have TPM 2.0 chips, et cetera, et cetera. And this just today,
They backed out because I
yeah,
saw
they
that
said-
just last week.
They
where
said
they were like, mm-mm.
basically they gave it the old "Here There Be Dragons" treatment, and said, okay, we'll create it. Here's how you can install Windows 11 on previously non-compatible Windows 11 devices, but keep in mind we don't, we won't support it with possibly with all the security updates or
Right.
other stuff that the hardware that is Windows 11 compatible will have. So, and also we're not liable for anything that happens
The liability
to your stuff.
parts, yeah.
Yep.
Being somebody who has pushed that and installed Windows 11 on software that Windows said it can't, it's just a registry change. I don't know if it's as much as them saying it's not going to work right. It's just saying we literally can't stop you because it's just a registry edit.
Yeah.
You know,
here's the disclaimer that you have to accept when you're installing it if your hardware does not meet the specifications. This PC doesn't meet the minimum system requirements for running Windows 11. These requirements help ensure a more reliable and higher quality experience. Installing Windows 11 on this PC is not recommended and may result in compatibility issues. If you proceed with installing Windows 11, your PC will no longer be supported and won't be entitled to receive updates. Damages to your PC due to lack of compatibility aren't covered under the manufacturer's warranty.
right.
By selecting accept, you are acknowledging that you read and understood this statement.
Which is more than they've been doing recently, because recently, if you try and upgrade to Windows 11 or install it, it just goes
Nah.
kick rocks.
Yep.
You don't have TPM.
Yeah. And
So at least they're giving the option, but that's fair for them to say, look, if you don't do this, we're not liable to keep backwards compatibility to make sure that your
Right.
files aren't lost or your games work right or that all your systems are secure, because we're not playing in that park anymore. We need you to have TPM 2.0. If you don't, go ahead and
think this
install it, but
I think it's a
I
good
think-
idea.
I think it's a great
great.
idea. You
Yeah.
know, I fully approve of this this path that they've taken because let the user know this isn't
it's
this
their
isn't
choice.
something we recommend, but it's your hardware. You paid
Yep.
for the license. Have at it.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what the EULA is for, is to protect
Yep.
both sides. And in this one, you want to take the risk and you have old hardware, go right ahead. I love that they're giving people that choice now because
Protect both sides to protect the company.
It's to protect the company from the user.
that's
For
true.
sure.
That's true.
All right,
But
Jarron, lightning round.
So solar panels on cars, it's always been a nifty idea. But the output of the solar panels on the car is exceedingly small, or at least so I thought. Like it wasn't worth it to put solar panels on because you'd only get, 30 miles of range in a week or something like that.
Yeah.
However, solar paint is being developed by Mercedes-Benz, and the numbers they're touting is a lot different. They have a 5 micrometer coating. They say it's similar to a wafer thin layer of paste. We're not talking Nilla wafers, like silicon wafers. Significantly thinner than a human hair. But anyway, they say an area of 118.4 square feet, which is about the equivalence to a mid-size SUV, could produce energy for up to 7,456 miles per year.
Whoa.
And
How does solar paint work though? I thought they had to be integrated like a circuit.
Well, no, they said
It's
it's
gotta be like a-
they said it's a tile, so it wouldn't be
Like a
paint.
wrap. So it's going to be like a wrap or
Probably something like that.
something.
Yeah.
no, they said paint. Yeah,
It's his thing says solar paint.
yeah, solar
What?
paint.
It says micrometer coating.
Yeah, it's a coating. It's a paint. So it's not limited to like a flat surface. It can be curvy.
Wavy.
Oh, I see.
But 7,456 miles per year. If you're not doing road trips, that could be
That's
your
half your
annual.
mileage, right?
No, that'd be your entire
Oh, I'd
mileage.
say
Just
that's
assuming
most
your
of it.
commute isn't ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right.
Your average driver, I don't think drives more than 10,000 miles a year, 12,000
Yeah.
tops.
The average is between 12 and 15. If you're looking at a car with mileage, it's between 12 and 15 for
Okay.
average.
For reference, I put less than 10 on my car last year, but I have a very short commute.
Yeah, same. I think
Granted, though, this is probably like
6,000 tops.
ultra ideal conditions.
Yeah.
So you probably have to be in Arizona or Southern California. maybe Florida to get that kind of output. But the idea is quite attractive. And from my perspective, if you're parking out in the hot sun, use it to keep the AC on.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. And also, like, seriously, give me half that and I'm still okay, right? Give me a quarter of my miles back in a year. I'm good with that, right? Like,
That's
Cool.
rad. I hope it keeps getting developed and actually comes to market.
I hope they sell it to Tesla. Patent it. Like those contacts.
This context have never happened.
Call it a smart coating. Oh.
Think about that. All right, Lando, lightning round.
Pass. I'm gonna save mine for
Okay.
next week.
Hey, saving it for next week. All right, well, that means we have come to the end of this episode. But before we go, big shout out to our awesome Patreon backers. Patreon.com/HelpDeskArcade. Thank you so much, supporters. We really appreciate you. And Lando is going to explain what the Patreon backer tiers get you.
Patreon's awesome, guys. I just want you to know that Patreon's awesome. We've had a number of people sign up recently. I want to give a big shout out to those people who have signed up recently. I'd like to think it's because I'm pimping it so well and really helping you guys understand what the benefits and the awesome things you get for being a Patreon listener are. So I'm going to go through those again right now, quickly. But just so you know, there are some awesome benefits becoming a Patreon. First and foremost, $1 a month gets you so many great options. First, super secret Discord channel. Right now, there's some great conversation happening around games and which games are the best. If you want to know more about that, you should subscribe. Second, you get early access to both shows all at once, the whole enchilada, if you will. Plus, the in-between. The in-between is where it's at. That's the super secret show that's only available to Patreon listeners. It's like a bonus little show. It's sometimes 5 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes, sometimes it's 20 minutes, sometimes it's an hour. I don't know.
It's never an
that
hour.
long.
Let's
You
not
never-
oversell it.
Disclaimer.
You never know.
It
It's
has
it's an
never
extra
been an
show.
hour.
It's more of us. If you like us and you want some spicy content that we don't usually talk about in the shows, sometimes Owen tells stories about his grandma. Sometimes Jarron goes naked. It's great. You
Second
should definitely listen to the
disclaimer,
in-between.
None of those things have happened.
But they could. It's the in-between, and that's the point.
I could be convinced.
It's a great
Jared's
time.
like, I could do it.
It's audio only, luckily.
You also get the shows ad-free, which is great. What else do you get?
And you get that in your RSS feed, right? Right.
Yeah, you get
through-
your
there's
own
an
Patreon
RSS
RSS
feed.
feed. That's how you get the in-between, is you have to use that. For $6 or more, Jarron says your name aloud in the air, and a lot of our Patreon subs choose to change their names to get Jarron to say whatever he wants. So you could do that. That's the thing you could do. So
love
Jarron's
it.
going to do that for you right now.
Thank you to our extra special tech daddies. Sorry, my brain just turned off. David Roshinsky, Interrupting Cow. He's
Moo.
new. Thank you. Aaron Faulkner, Connor Keesaw. The best stickers are made by Pieman Graphics. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Mr. Conover, CUVU HR about your PP.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Capital letters P.
Yeah.
Ah,
I see what he did there.
Personal progress is what it's
Yeah.
talking about. Your
Yeah.
personal progress.
Personal progress.
Jason Eatman, how many dollars to not hear from Lambo again?
All of them.
Can't put a price on that.
Can't put a price on that because we need him to keep coming back.
Purveyor of the Himalayan ketchups. B, the 8-year-old, Kyle, Michael Shane, Tony, the Excel and Power Apps nerd. Ooh, I'm
cool.
jealous. Travis Johnson, Jeremy, No Name, No Color, Kesslo, Eric Steinman, Eric Cruz. The in-between rating plus 17.
That's pretty
There's always money in the banana stand.
Good one.
DP, Lambo leaps lovingly while longing for letters from Lang.
Yep,
Wesley,
yep, I do.
Landon and his games are the best.
Ha-ha.
good.
Stuart Lloyd, you can avoid reality, but you cannot avoid the consequences of avoiding reality. And finally, so-and-so.
All right. Thank you so much, Patreon backers. You are friggin' awesome. Okay. Let us close up this shop for today, for this week. Thanks for the download. Thanks for listening. And we will see you in the Geek Show after party or the arcade, or maybe just next week if all you care about is the help desk. That's fine. Oh, wait. No, this is Landon. Landon, take us out.
You know, if you are a large corporation and you want to make lots of money and you want to screw over your customers, just give them the illusion of choice. You know, it's always a good thing. Be an end user.